At this hour, we're hearing all kinds of noises. Hillary just referenced it in an effort to level a severely skewed trading relationship. President Trump may announce tariffs on at least 30 billion Chinese-made products, even as he says he has a great relationship with China's leader Xi Jinping. Why is a huge group of U.S. tech giants, arguably at risk of having their ideas and innovations stolen, hoping the president backs off on this tariff threat? If you're perplexed as to why they feel that way, look no further than what we've put on your screen. See this Apple Store? That Apple Store is in Beijing. They do millions and millions of dollars in business annually there, and they do not want to be shut out of operations and licensing deals and sales with the Chinese and around the world if China retaliates. Here's the guy ready to deliver that more globalist message for those companies to the president, Dean Garfield. He's the CEO and president of the IT Industry Council, the world's leading lobbyist group for innovation giants. Welcome, sir. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
The president has been really firm about ending what he calls unfair trade with China. Why do you disagree with his plan to add tariffs?
We agree with the president that the relationship with China has to be redefined and that we need fair and reciprocal trade with China. What we disagree with is that tariffs are the tool to get there.
You're the voice, though, for giants like Microsoft and Apple, eBay, McAfee, even Visa cards. Why are those companies urging restraint against China when it is there? It's been proven that China harbors a hotbed of pirates and thieves who have stolen, knocked off, and pirated these companies' innovations.
Yeah, what we're actually urging is that we do things that the United States takes steps that are likely to work in leading China to open up its market. And so tariff is a tool. Our view is it's the wrong tool for achieving that goal. The goal here is to get China to open up. And to do that, we need to have a multifaceted approach that includes working with U.S. allies to persuade China on the right approach.
And how would you do that, considering it's been tried before and we've come up empty-handed and they've come up with a lot of our secrets? It's even been hashed out in courts around the world. You, of course, remember Manitowoc, the gigantic crane company here in the United States, where China said, come on, we'll pay you, you help us build our skyscrapers, and then boom, somehow the intellectual property of how they build their cranes was taken, and then they were kicked out of the country, and every time they tried to bring in a crane back to China, they were slapped with tariffs.
Yeah, there is no silver bullet solution. What I do know is that tariffs are the wrong solution, certainly by themselves. There's a recent report that just came out, in fact, today, that says a 10% tariff on China will have over an $150 billion negative impact on the U.S. economy. So if what we're trying to achieve is get China to change its behavior and to do so in a way that's not going to negatively impact America, it's important that we come up with solutions that are actually workable. I used to work in the motion picture industry, which may be an example here. China is certainly a problem on intellectual theft for the motion picture industry. And a WTO case was brought that was successfully brought. Certainly, IP theft remains for the film industry, but it's been improved by getting more films into the market in China, which is what we're suggesting here as well.
Yeah, which is an interesting position for you to be in, because you had been with the Motion Picture Association of America, and you got to witness firsthand the theft that back in the day, I mean, I remember it was Avatar, but that was so many years ago. These are all new movies that are pirated, much of it in China. Everything from Jumanji to Star Wars: The Last Jedi, Ragnarok, Shape of Water, that was just out. A movie called Downsizing, and you see what they've done, where these things end up almost, you know, not even 2 days after they've been released on street corners in Beijing in the form of pretty good quality DVDs.
Yeah, the current business environment in China is a problem. We're not debating that. The only thing that we are suggesting is that we and the United States take on solutions that are likely to work, and that the private sector has an opportunity to work with the president to help shape those solutions. I've spent a lot of time on the ground in China, and so have many of our companies. We have some experience firsthand in what will work here. Tariffs will not, but there are other solutions that could.
I'm just looking at the DVDs on the street corners. Munich, I mean, they'll get a lot of different movies no matter what. I'll be very interested to see If you get any luck with shutting this kind of thing down, do you have anything on the calendar to meet with the president or his people?
As it turns out, I'm on the President's Trade Advisory Board, and so have spent a fair amount of time with Ambassador Lighthizer, who's helping to lead much of the work here. And our sense is that the administration is working constructively to find solutions that will work. We intend to continue to engage with them to make sure those solutions will actually help the situation, not do damage to the American economy.
Dean, great to see you. You're not alone. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce has warned that these tariffs would hurt American consumers. We shall see. Good to see you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, you too.